across sales, business development, product management, and project management. Known for her results-driven approach, Oluwatobi has worked with various organizations in the fintech space to drive substantial profits and growth. Currently, she serves as the head of the business unit at Hydrogen Payment Services Company Limited, a subsidiary of Access Holdings. Her journey to this role is both inspiring and motivational. Despite holding a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics engineering from the prestigious Covenant University and a master's in information technology management from the United Kingdom, she faced significant challenges entering the corporate world. Beginning her career as a junior sales officer in the bustling trade fair markets, Oluwatobi quickly mastered the intricacies of retail sales. This experience paved the way for larger opportunities. Her determination, skill, and drive for success swiftly advanced her to middle management roles in several organizations within a few years. Her experiences have fueled her ambition to continuously climb higher on the ladder of success. This drive led her to create a coaching community dedicated to helping others evolve, grow, and achieve their career or business aspirations. Through her guidance, numerous individuals have secured jobs, improved their professional skills, and advanced their business endeavors. A passionate believer in the potential of people, Oluwatobi is committed to fostering growth and development of others. So that is Oluwatobi Adeyemi's bio. So this is I'll be asking her a few questions about her experience in the industry so far. So firstly, Toby, can you just give us a brief intro about your experience in sales in the tech ecosystem over the past decade that you've been working?
All right, thank you very much, Adequate. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers, Tech Sales and Partnership Community. I have been following your platform for some months now, and you are doing an amazing job. If communities like this, if I had the opportunity to be a member of such body, I think my journey would have been better, or should I say easier, right? So talking about my journey is very interesting. I like telling stories, please pardon me. My journey is very interesting. Like you heard, I have a bachelor's degree in engineering. So I'm sure you're wondering, like, the pivoting to sales, like how did that happen? So after school, or after my graduation, I got an internship with Coca-Cola, Nigerian protein company, as an electrical engineer. And that was when I realized that I need to find another passion, because it was really draining. For me, it wasn't motivating. Every time you have to, as an engineer, you're going to the roof, you're trying to work on electrical lines, cables, and all of that. You're going to factory, so NBC was a bottling company. You're going into the factories, you're working on the machines, you're sweating profusely. For me, it was like, no, this is not what I want, right? And on the side, I've always been passionate about money. I like making money. So I had my hands in different businesses. And I just felt, you know what, this really is my passion. So why not just chase it, right? So I decided to, start scouting for sales jobs, and I ended up in Konga. Working in Konga, the first thing they did was, we're throwing you to Trade Fair. We're throwing you to Trade Fair Center. We want to have a flagship store in Trade Fair, and we need someone to drive it. This is me that, so I like soft life, and all of a sudden I have to go to Trade Fair, and I have to onboard thousands of merchants for Konga, because this was like their very first store in Trade Fair, and they really wanted to make a mark. In 1 month, I was given a target of 5,000 merchants, and I was to ensure that all their products are live on Konga website. And I did it. Well, I actually achieved it. It was an audacious goal, trust me, but I achieved it. And I would say that skill I was able to develop working with Konga. set the ball rolling for every other thing in my career. When it comes to growth, that skill was everything I needed to climb the ladder of success. Okay, so moving on from retail sales, I went ahead to get a master's degree. I felt getting a master's, would give you an upper hand, get you a better job. And to my dismay, I came back, and the first job I could get after getting a master's was a front desk officer job. That's the worst thing that can happen to anybody's morale. Like, you just feel like that's the end of the road for you, right? But I kept pushing, I kept giving it my best, I kept giving it my all. And when the final opportunity to come into the fintech space, when the final opportunity came, the skills I had developed over time in, working in sales, in Konga, right, helped me to pitch myself and get the job. I didn't have any experience, I didn't have anything, but, being able to pitch myself got me the job. Now, that looks like that's the end, right? But getting into the job as an entry-level officer, I didn't know anything about fintech. Everything they were talking about, acquirer, processing, switch, everything sounded so strange. And I felt like, am I really in the right place? Getting frustrated again, right? But one thing I would say, or should I say one of the things that helped me, because in 3 years, 3 years down the line, I think just 3 years, less than 3 years down the line, I was promoted from an entry-level officer to the head of the department. That didn't happen by chance, trust me. I would say, just a way to summarize, I would say some of the things that helped is believing in myself, not giving up on myself. I mean, I've talked about some of the hurdles that I was able to pass through, but keep believing, keep pushing. Most importantly, being able to sell myself. So sales is not just about, oh, you want to sell the products of your organization, or you want to sell the products or services that your organization offers. Most importantly, if you're going to climb the ladder of success, the very key thing you need to know, or that you need to do, is know how to sell yourself. And I always say that every time I have the opportunity to talk to people. Beyond selling the products, wherever you go, make sure you sell yourself. When people believe in you, when people are able to buy into you, then they'll be able to buy into the products that you're selling. So sell yourself, because you get the opportunity to sell, the value that you can offer, and then you have the opportunity to sell the products that you're trying to pitch as well. So yes, that's my journey in a nutshell. Adekoyejo, over to you.
Thank you so much. One very interesting thing to note is that myself and Toby used to work at a fintech organization, and she led or started a particular business line, which is today the biggest business line in that directorate. That business line grosses about 6 to 8 billion naira annually for that directorate. So Toby is a big star, and she's also she's a big star. So she left us at that organization and went on to continue doing great stuff at InterSwitch, and now she's at Hydrogen Pay. So you mentioned that you were an entry-level staff at the fintech organization for about 3 years, and then you were promoted to being a team lead or a HOD. That's
HOD, yeah.
That's actually very, very remarkable, and that's not something that we see in so much in the ecosystem, especially with very established companies like Unified Payments, where you achieved this. So what are the skills that you had, or what are those things that you demonstrated that made the company trust the position of the HOD into your hands after just 3 years of working in fintech?
So it's a number of things, right? But I'll start off by saying that when you're working in an organization, apart from believing in yourself, you also need to find people that believe in you, right? And when I say find people that believe in you, you now have to start to look at people that believe in you that are ahead of you as well, because they'll be able to speak for you in places where your voice can be heard. They'll be able to speak for you at tables where you won't have the privilege to be, right? So finding people that believe in you that are ahead of you is very, very key. Now, that's step one. Step two is finding the key influencers in your workspace. So, for example, you're in the sales department, right? Who are the key influencers in your space? So it could be your line manager, it could be your director, it could even be your peers, right? So find the key influencers, people that other people listen to. They might necessarily not hold a position. They might necessarily not be out there, but you need to find them, because people like that can influence decisions. You know, when decisions are about to be made concerning your career, people like that can influence your decision. Now that's second. So let's take them differently. So that's step two, right? Now, three, you need to offer value. And you need to know the kind of value that you want to offer. You need to offer value. When I say offer value, I know that for a salesperson, you have targets, and you've been given targets, say maybe 1 billion naira target or something. Now, even if you know you've tried your best, you've tried everything, and you can't meet that target, find quick wins that are strategic. Now, why do I say find quick wins that are strategic? For example, it could be that, oh, the company wants to expand to other African countries. That could be a very strategic target that if it's ticked off the list, if it's ticked off the list, it then shows, or it then proves that this person, we need to do something, we need to promote you, we need to encourage you, we need to give you more money, we need to give you bonuses, even when they're not giving other people bonuses. Yeah, that happens as well. Okay, so coming back to, I'm saying all of these things because that's what I did, right? Now, going back to the key influencers, when you have found out that, oh, this person, that person is a key influencer, you need to know what makes them tick. And what I mean by that is you need to know what would impress them work-wise, right? So I used to have a boss that when he came into the organization, he came in newly, and everybody just felt this guy is only so much. Like, he wants you to work like you want to lose your life, basically. Everybody else just felt this guy's only too much. You need to get him out. I know Koye knows what I'm talking about. You need to get him out of this company, and everybody was just so angry at him. But I knew that I recognized that this was a key influencer. So what did I do? I found out what made him tick. And what's that? He likes it when you are proactive, you're solving problems beyond what his expectations are, right? So he has an expectation. Deliver these reports, for example, deliver this report at a certain time. If you're able to deliver the report at that time, yes, you met his expectation. Don't even deliver it 1 second over the time. But if you're able to deliver it the day before, then he has marked you as a superstar. So what I did was, oh, this is what he likes. And, started to work tirelessly to showcase, to show him my work. So that's another thing. Now that you've identified what makes the person tick, make sure you make noise about yourself and your work. So, I don't think I should have been on that spot for 3 years with the value I was offering, with what I was delivering. If I had learned all of these things, if I had been showing my workings early enough, I probably would have gotten that promotion earlier, less than 3 years. So another thing you want to do is brag, talk about it wherever you are in the organization. Let your work be evident, basically. Let your work be evident, So yeah, that's majorly it. But most importantly, understand the expectations, of your influencers. Make sure that you're able to prove your worth to them, and then showcase your work, showcase, the value that you're offering to the entire organization. Make sure you have visibility. So those were the things that, that I did. And interestingly, I got a promotion during COVID. That's the funniest thing.
Wow.
That period was where, that was a period where they were firing people left and right. People were getting sacked. And that was the time I got my own promotion, which was about 4 levels ahead. So what I did was just, I'm going to ensure I go over and beyond expectations. If what is expected is, to deliver a report of 1 page to explain or to analyze this situation, I'm delivering a report of 20 pages, which I actually did. So, you can't go over and beyond, for an organization, showcase your work, and you don't get, recognized. You definitely will. So yes, that was it for me. And I would say that from experience, those things have actually worked.
No, that's fantastic.
Sorry,
One
Koye,
thing.
let me add. Sorry, let me just add, because I just remembered this as well. So part of showcasing your work, I remember that my job at InterSwitch was a referral, right? While I was in Unified Payments during budget session, you know how hot budgeting session is always very hot when you're a salesperson. Like, you have to deliver numbers and you have to speak figures, right? I
Yeah.
remember doing one very marvelous, excellent presentation. I presented numbers. I had like 7 pages of data and all of that. Now, there was someone there watching. It wasn't even like a director. It wasn't a MD. It wasn't anything. It was just someone that was passing by, sat through the presentation and said, wow, this person is good. He was the one that spoke on my behalf to someone that was working in InterSwitch. He just told the person, oh, you guys are looking for someone that there's this girl, I think she's very good. I sat through her presentation and she was amazing, it was flawless. I think you should employ her. And that was how I got the interview. That was how I got called to, for the interview and got the job. So showcasing your work is very, very important. Don't think that, I don't know this thing, even if you're giving a task that you've never done before. So say, for example, the budgeting. I didn't even study accounting to start with. I did engineering, right? But I have to just put in my best. So even if it's a task that you haven't really done anything, like you haven't done anything on it before, just put in your best and give it a try. And remember, sell yourself, most importantly. Thank you, Koye.
Fantastic. I see a couple of people are raising up their hands. We would take questions and answers at the end of the session so that we don't disrupt the flow of the session. Yeah, that's very, very, very key, Toby. One of the mistakes I made very early in my career was working the way I wanted to work, not working the way my boss or my line manager would want me to work. So instead of me to there was this boss I had that he doesn't want you to, even if let's say I'm trying to get a client now, and what I would want to report is, okay, I've gotten this person, or I've landed this deal. He doesn't want, and maybe that takes 4 weeks. He doesn't want that quiet time in the space of that 4 weeks. He wants you to be giving him update like every week. Say, okay, you went to the office today. This is what they said. He just wants activity. So that's one thing I learned, that you don't, if not, he will just believe that this guy is not doing anything. So and secondly is another thing you mentioned is personal, like branding yourself, having visibility. It is extremely key as well. And then also getting referrals for jobs. I was at an event that was last year or 2 years ago, and then I met this guy. We started talking, and just because of the way, like, I put out myself and some of the work that I discussed with the guy, he recommended me for a job with Nibs. and I got the interview. I got to the final stage of the interview, but I didn't end up taking the job because I had another offer, a better offer somewhere else. So that's also it's also good to show, to be visible in your organization or outside of your organization as well. So moving forward, yeah, what are the differences between entry level and middle management? So I understand that the responsibilities for an entry level staff would definitely differ from that of a middle management executive. What are the things that changed for you when you got that promotion to middle management?
Okay, so interestingly, there's actually a thin line. There's actually a thin line between the entry level role and the middle management. Okay, so at entry level is the nitty-gritty, the groundwork. You're doing the groundwork, it's the foundation, is a building block of your career, basically. And this is where you need to put in so much work. You need to show that you have, or you need to acquire enough knowledge. You need to then prove yourself. And then you also need to, you also need to, should I say, need to overperform, basically. So the entry level is where, when you're building a house, start off with the foundation, you're putting the blocks together, and you're just trying to set up the house. So that's entry level. Middle management is more of, oh, everything is set now. I now need to manage the house that I have built, right? So middle management is all about you're managing a team, you're setting targets for the team, you're ensuring that the targets that you have set is aligned with the overall goals of the organization, right? So that's the difference. But why I said there's a thin line is most times when people move up from entry level to middle management, there's this, should I say, there's this possibility where you get relaxed and then you feel like, oh, those things you knew then when you were at the entry level role, you don't need them anymore. So you're just focused on more of strategy, strategic thinking, leadership. You're not bothered again about the nitty-gritty and the details. The problem is because the fintech space is very dynamic, you can find yourself you can find yourself in a job where you need to think both strategically and you need to also pay attention to details. So moving up the ladder doesn't mean that, oh, I dropped everything that I used to know. Moving up the ladder means that I'm going to retain what I knew and I'm going to build on top of it. So if you're able to keep yourself in check in that regard, it's easy for you to then upskill, right? Because you still find relevance. Another effect of that, imagine that you go to an organization where maybe they play a lot of office politics, and the people that the entry-level officers that you have to oversee probably know the MD or they know somebody, and they're not even happy that you're there and they're looking for how to displace you. If you're not grounded, let me put it that way, if you're not grounded to the nitty-gritty, if you're not grounded knowledge-wise, it's very easy for them to displace you because then they'll begin to pitch themselves to be more relevant where information is needed. And imagine stepping into a management meeting and they're asking you questions on this, oh, there's a serious downtime, and you're unable to actually provide information that would help in decision making, which is one of the things one of the skills that you should have as a middle manager. It then means that it's easy for you to get displaced. So what I like to do, or should I say my own strategy, what I do is every organization that I work, whether I'm working as a middle manager or senior manager or whatever it is, I own the business. So I see it as this is my personal business that I am, this is my personal business that I am doing, and I'm the only staff here. So when I say I'm the only staff here, I'm seeing myself as the person that needs to think strategically, the person that needs to know the details, the person that needs to know a little bit about operations, the person that needs to know a little bit about settlements. I need to know a little bit about products. I need to know a little bit about projects. So all of that together would make you relevant, would make you keep your position, and at the same time help you to upskill to a higher level. So, Koyi, I don't know if I was able to answer your question.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Um, Now, one of the peculiarities with middle management is that at middle management level, you get to manage up, at the same time manage down. Now, you get to be in all these executive meetings where they take strategic decisions, and at the same time, you also have the responsibility of training the guys that are under you and lead them, ensure that they are doing things the way you want, be a good leader, and all of that. So many people believe that companies are made or destroyed at the middle management level. So how has your experience with that been, like managing both up and managing down at the same time in the organization?
To be honest, I've had both good and bad experiences, but I'll start with the good. So over 10 years that I've worked with some organizations, I would say that managing the skills the skills that you need to manage upline definitely different from the skills that you need to manage your downlines. More importantly as well, I think we should also consider our pair lines. So that's talking about your peers, because you will need their help in also managing your upline and your downlines. So for me, the good experiences, I always like to have interpersonal approach with my line managers, or people that I have to report, senior managers that I have to report to, because it then helps me to get information that they're not telling me. Now, executive managers generally like it when you are delivering what they're not asking you for. What I mean is, I've told you, buy me water bottle. For example, I've said, buy me water bottle. Now the expectation is, or their expectation is, buy me Nestle water, buy me Nestle water bottle. But the communication was, buy me water bottle, right? So they expect that somehow you are reading their mind, or you know what they want. For let's use sales now, that they want to meet targets. That's the most important thing, right? They want to meet their targets. They could also have expectations from the board that they want to meet. So what I used to do, or what I do, is form interpersonal relationships with my line managers. That way they are more relaxed to tell me things that they will naturally not even tell other people. And what am I getting from that? I am aligning my goals, my own objectives to theirs. That is the most important. I think if you have that sorted, you have your promotion sorted, you have everything else sorted in your career journey. So you understand their expectation and you are aligning yourself with it. And I like that part you talked about reporting, where you had a boss that always wanted you to keep reporting. It is very, very common with senior managers, right? They don't always want to chase. They want, even if they complain to you and say, oh, I don't like the way you're always coming to me and giving me feedback. Trust me, they prefer that you are the one doing the chasing. They don't like to chase. If you look around you and see people that are having issues with their bosses, trust me, it is people that are, their bosses are having to chase them. Those are the people that you see that they have issues. But if you're always proactive, every time you're providing regular updates, you know why it's important to them? They could just get a call from the MD, or from one of the board members, or you need to come right now to make a presentation. their life is really, really unpredictable. So they like it when they're always armed. They don't want to be disgraced, they don't want to be embarrassed, right? So they like it when they are fully armed, they have all the armor, and when they are going for a presentation or they are going for an executive meeting, they're able to present information or present data and make decisions, right? So for me, I do that tirelessly. Then number 3, communication. Facts. There's no, I think it's, well, still like reporting, but communication is proactively communicating issues before they happen. So there's something happening, maybe you've been trying to chase this customer, very, high net customer for a very long time, and you're not able to close that deal. For you, you might think, oh, I'm trying to, let me hide this information so that my boss will know. And then one day it catches up with you, right? So proactively communicate your issues. And there's something about being a boss. They like it when they are in charge, right? They might not want to tell you that, oh, I like it when you make me feel like I'm in charge, but they like it when you make them feel like they're in charge. So go to your boss and say, I'm having issues with this, I'm having issues with that. Don't always act like, oh, you know everything. And so because you know everything, you don't even go to them for help. I'm not saying that will show that, oh, you have your weak, right? It just shows that, oh, you also need them. And even as human beings, we always like to feel needed once in a while. And that's one thing with bosses as well. So it's very good. Always proactively engage. I'm having this. But when you have ideas as well, also proactively engage. I have this idea. I think we can do this for the company, because they are thinking strategically. So if you're able to meet their thinking, when it's time for promotion, it is you they will think about. It's that simple, right? So when you have ideas, pitch it. Always be in constant, always communicate constantly. Then now when it comes to managing downlines, this is very tricky because your downlines can set you up for failure, and that would eventually affect your relationship with your line managers. So you also want to be very careful with the people that report to you, your direct reports, people that work with you. And now your downlines might not even be people directly under your team. They could be cross-functional teams as well that work with you. So if you're in sales, you have the product guys, you have the engineering guys, you have the project guys, you have different people that work with you. Managing them would also contribute to the overall success of your career, right? First thing you want to do is to empower them. Now, when you empower people, what that does for you as a middle manager is to make you look like a superstar. I say this all the time. When you give people autonomy to work, it makes them free and it makes them churn out ideas that when you're presenting, of course, when you're presenting to your own line manager as a middle manager, you're presenting all those ideas. And then they're seeing you and your team as well. These guys are good. You're getting bonuses, you're getting recognized in the organization. So it's very important to empower people that work with you. Find their strengths and play with their strengths, because that would help you. Okay, so you identify that this person is very good in presentation, this other person is good in managing clients, building relationships, this other person is good with resolving issues. Just find their strengths and make it work for you, right? Next thing is set realistic expectations. So when I was saying that I have good and bad experiences, one of my bad experiences, right? I just started one job, particular place I've worked. There was no expectation from my line manager. I didn't follow through. I didn't pursue that. And of course, there was no expectation for my downlines as well. And at the end of the day, that affected appraisals, right? That affected appraisals. So it's very good at the very start, sit down with your team and set clear expectations. I'm talking about KPIs now. Set clear expectations and then work with what is achievable in line with the overall goals of your company, right? So set expectations and also get feedback. Ask for feedback on your own performance. Ask for give them feedback as well on their performance. So when you have that constructive feedback mechanism in place, it helps your team at the end of the day, to be a superstar, right? Finally, relationship management. As a salesperson, that should even be like the number one skill that you would have. That would help you manage uplines, downlines, peer lines, outlines, outlines, all of the lines. Relationship management is very key. So Adequate, that's it for me.
Thank you so much. One very important thing to note about that Toby mentioned is empowering your downlines. So on this call, there are about 3 or 4 people that Toby has worked with who were reporting to her, and I can attest to you that she had a very good relationship with them. In fact, when she was leaving InterSwitch, she recommended one of them for a role, and the person is currently in InterSwitch. Now, I don't want to cast the person on this call, but that person is also here, also here with us today. So that is very, very, very good insight. It is also always good to empower your downlines. In the word of a popular Nigerian philosopher, we rise by lifting others. So moving on, one of the major criteria for going up the ladder in the corporate world, in sales rather, is achieving your sales target. Now, fintech is extremely competitive. The barrier to entry is not as high as it used to be. Now, anybody can get a license from CBN, can build a payment infrastructure, connect with a few players in the industry, and then set up a business to compete with you. Now, this can be very, very tasking when you are competing with so many people in the industry. You are competing with banks, you are competing with other fintechs. Like, take for example, now, you may be a POS or an agency banking company, and you just hear that maybe Paystack or Flutterwave, those guys who are doing payment gateway, they have launched a new product to enter your industry. So how have you been able to manage your targets or get good results in the organization despite the increasingly competitive
Fierce
landscape?
competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good question, Kuye. I think that the people, or should I say, the organizations that will eventually win in the fintech space will be organizations that are open to collaboration and partnerships. Because, like you have rightly said, there is really nothing you can do about competition. It's really, really porous. Like, it's so bad that everybody is doing the same thing. So the organization that will stand is that organization that will be able to find leverage that they can use for collaboration and partnerships. So what I mean is, build an ecosystem, build something for the ecosystem that will bring everybody together. So you want to think of an end-to-end, think of an end-to-end payments products or something for, in maybe different verticals, could be FMCGs, something that would bring everybody together. Why? Number one, you're staying relevant. And if you can maintain relevance, it then means that you will definitely still be able to maintain your position and also still keep your clients, right? Doing that will also give you avenues to make more money. So even if today, let's use card processing. So I'm doing card processing. Another company is doing card processing. About 3 of us are doing card processing, right? So if you're able to carve out something maybe from your infrastructure that now helps other people to depend on you, such that they have to use your service, then it means that you're not going to be kicked out of the market. You will still be a player. You still find relevance, right? And at the same time, you're still going to make profits. Another thing I would also say is opening up your borders. So many people are so fixed on, for example, I'm into agency banking, that's what we do. And then their agency banking is just Lagos. What happened to the other states in Nigeria where your market is, right? So leaving your footprint, just finding other ways to leave your footprints, move out of Lagos, move out of Nigeria, go and do business in Kenya, go and do business in Gambia. All right. So leave your sphere of influence and find some place else to make a mark. Remember, what exactly do we do in fintech? We're trying to connect the world, remember? We're trying to make it easy. We're trying to make payments easy across the border. So why have you just been focusing on Lagos, or why are you only focusing on Nigeria? So expand your reach. That's something else that would help as well. Now, if you're a startup, if you're a startup and you are a unicorn, your cases are different. So you need to identify and analyze your own space. It's good to always do market research, always do analysis. What's happening? What are the market trends? What's happening in my space? What's happening among startups? What's happening among unicorns? What's happening among forerunners? It's always good to find out what's happening in your space. That will present opportunities for you as well. Yes, Olaide said product diversification. Yes, I mentioned it, like building products that can sell to all categories of customers. The funny thing is fintech, right? We're only just focused on we're all focused on the same kind of payments. How many people are doing cross-border? If you really look at it, how many people are facilitating payments for FMCGs? How many people are facilitating payment? There are so many industries that we're not even there, like we don't even have a presence. So there's a lot more that that we can harness. It's just all about finding a spot for yourself. So that's it.
Nice. I was reading an article a few months ago, and then they said that business to business payments is I think a $1 trillion industry, and then there are not so many people that play in this industry.
Yeah.
So say there is an FMCG company who wants to import machinery from China, and this person wants to do the transaction is about 5 to 10 or $15 million. Now he has to go through banks, and these channels are usually somewhat rigorous and
expensive.
expensive.
So
There are a lot of bottlenecks. So there are quite a number of um of opportunities or areas that we have not explored in payments and fintech. Another one, like you rightly mentioned, is cross-border payments. But though cross-border payments is really, really hard, especially in Africa. But hopefully, and then so many companies have dabbled into cross-border payments and failed. But then hopefully we get people to solve it. So my last question is based on a personal experience. Yeah. So I was applied for a role some time ago, and you know, typical with any role you're applying for, they'll ask you what is your salary expectation, and I put a figure there, and I got an offer for the role. Few months down the line, I was talking to someone else about that role, And he was like, he also applied for the role. And so I told him how much I put as my salary expectation. And he said that, my guy, try that the salary range, or because he also applied for that position, and what they were offering him was 2 million naira per month. And he turned it down, he didn't accept it. And then there is me that puts one very ridiculous figure. So salary expectation is something that a lot of people don't discuss in Nigeria. I don't know, maybe because of fear of billing or fear of witches and wizards or something. I want to like what's for when you're getting into middle level management, so that if there's any one of us that is gunning for such roles, what is the salary range that we should expect or that we should negotiate for, so that we don't shoot ourselves in the feet.
Do you want me to be specific with the numbers?
Please, as much as possible.
Okay, okay. So, salary. Salary is actually a very, very interesting topic that I like because I like money. Okay, so when you're moving up the ladder, and so let's even start from knowing what you bring to the table. Like that is this thing is even psychological, right? Because whatever I think I want is what I will get at the end of the day. Trust me, that's the truth. So the first thing is how much are you worth? That's the first question. How much are you worth? That would help you in your teaching when you go for an interview and you want to pitch yourself, for salary discussions. For middle managers in the fintech space, trust me, you can earn anything. It all depends on one, if you're able to prove yourself. Two, if you believe that you deserve it. So if you're able to prove yourself, you can ask for anything. If you believe that you deserve it, you can ask for anything. But another thing you need to know is you also need to have done your research about the organization. Please do your research. Go to LinkedIn. Look for, so when you put the name of the company, it will show you the people that work there. Chat them up, relate with them, and ask questions so that you can have, when you're going to the interview, you're able to make an informed decision, right? Now, they could tell you, oh, there's a salary range, probably between 700,000 to 5 million. Yes, as a middle manager, you can earn as high as, you can even earn as high as 5 million. That's true. So that's why I said, do you think that, do you know your worth and do you think you deserve it? That's one part of it. Second thing is do your research, find out what they pay in that organization, right? So when you have that range, you can then go to the interview and present a figure. But I tell you, you can earn anything from 700K to 5 million. It all depends on your negotiation ability, you proving yourself, you being able to showcase your worth, right? And you believing that you deserve it. So that's it. Another thing to consider. So yeah, there's another thing. As a salesperson, remember that you could have juicy offers that talk about bonuses. So many people don't read the offer letter. They just go, what am I earning monthly? Okay, it's 2 million. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. I signed the contract. Look at your contract very well before you sign it. Check other benefits. Is there a bonus? Are there other things that I would get as well? Because then that would help you in making your decision. I mean, I have earned I've earned very, very interesting bonuses that broke, as in I've never seen that kind of money before. So I was so excited. I was like, wow, what's going on here? And I went to meet the finance BP and I was like, okay, sorry, please, did you make a mistake? Because I think I think I saw something, I'm not really sure. what's going on? Did you make a mistake? And I was like, okay, no. So we pay bonuses. Guess what? I didn't read the contract as well. I just saw something there and I just signed because I was okay with the monthly salary. But they had uncapped, like, have you ever heard of uncapped bonus? Like, uncapped means if you're able to bring in this certain amount of money, we will pay you X% and it's uncapped. So, for example, if you're able to make 1 billion, and I'm saying that I can give you 10%, what's that? What's 10% of 1 billion? Or
100
I'm saying I
million.
can give you, and there's no cap. So you might just open your mind to that. So you want to be very careful. You want to check the details very well before you sign that contract. Okay, sales is like the best field you can be in. Trust me. There's opportunity for growth. There's opportunity to make money. So you're in the right profession. Thank you, Koye.
Nice. Please, what company did they give that uncapped bonus
I'm
so
not
that?
spilling it. I'm not spilling.
Wow,
I'm not spilling that. I'm not spilling that information.
wow. Okay, don't worry. I'll be in your DMs. All right. Thank you so much, Toby. We've come to the end of the session on my end. Now we're opening the floor for question and answer from the audience. So if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box, or you can raise up your hand, and we would let you speak. Any questions? Yes. Before, okay. Let's also Omodara Oluwagbenga, you can go ahead, please.
Hi, hello, Koye, hello, Toby.
Hi.
Actually nice to talk to or hear you speak again after a very long time. And thank you for the insights, right? So my question here, because I currently work in a cross-border payments um, institution, right? So my challenge is regarding the way FX and everything. I mean, Nigeria is as unstable as a sea can be or an ocean can be. And one of the few challenges I've been encountering is firstly getting these companies. We know that there's a challenge, right? Of sending money across the border. Even CBN is putting out policies
Yeah, the
restricting.
regulations.
There are regulations that is just like watertight and everything.
Yeah.
So, but the challenge I'm facing, I'm still trying to crack it is before you can even onboard some of these organizations, right, for these companies to do cross-border payments, their KYC, they need to be like locally registered, they need to have some sort of affiliate and all. So how do you conveniently, reach out to some businesses and be able to crack that compliance level?
Inga, this question you asked me is something you're supposed to pay for. It's not.
Koya has
It's
done the
not.
payment already. That's why they
It's
brought
not.
you to this platform.
Okay, but I'll speak in parables, right? I want because I mean, um, one of the organizations I worked for, we did something around cross-border payments as well, and we had all of these challenges you mentioned. And I will not give you solution like the exact solution,
You
but
see
this
me in
is
your
what
DM then.
this is what I would say, right? When I was talking about when Koye asked the question about um how do you stay competitive? How do you remain relevant in the industry? One thing I mentioned most importantly, I talked about partnership and collaboration. Trust me, no matter how hard regulation tries to fight your business, Because I mean, of course, when you're starting a business, I'm sure you'd have done your personal analysis, and you know that political and regulatory compliances will always come in play. You need to break your entire cycle and fit in partners at every leg of the cycle. So I'm speaking to the cross-border, right? Remember I said I was talking parables. Every leg of the transaction, break it down and find a partner that can fill in the gap for you. So, for example, if the challenge is, oh, I'm unable to, the company doesn't have this document, don't have this, they don't have that license or whatever, find a way that they can leverage on someone's license, for example, or they can do a recertification or something like that. So just break the entire cycle and then fit in partners at each leg of the cycle. And I know that will help. That will definitely help you. So I'll stop there. If you want more
Thank you.
information, send me dollars.
For more information, I'll be in your DM. Okay, thank you. That's actually insightful. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. Olaide, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Toby, for all the insights and Koye for bringing this together. My question is around, because it's a competitive environment, same with talents. So as an employee, like a tech sales executive in the middle level management, yeah, I get offers, right? Some for different reasons, either because it's a toxic environment I want to leave, or because I feel I deserve more pay than I'm currently earning. You see people running from one company to another, even in this very small ecosystem. For me, I feel the fintech is very small. Like everybody knows themselves somehow. If you're in the fintech space, like core payment processing, and you've been in it since maybe the past 6 years, less than 10 years, I'm sure you'll know people in the top 10 companies in Nigeria, for instance, and all of that. But the question now is, how do I prevent myself from running around? So I'm not comfortable here, either because, okay, a unicorn just, no, not a unicorn, a new company just surfaced and they poached maybe the big guys in the industry. So the head of payments in one of the top four has been poached. They've poached people because of more money and all of that. And I'm here thinking, should I start looking out, or should I stay and continue to learn? Maybe there's promotion room for promotion. How do I manage those thoughts? So I want more money. Definitely, everybody wants more money. I want to learn. Yeah, the compromise between staying to gain or acquire all the knowledge and also earning more money, and also rising in that industry, if that is where, if you don't intend changing career, is a blend of three things I've mentioned. Now, how have you been able to navigate? I mean, for me, I have a very similar experience. I studied computer engineering and I'm in tech sales, yeah. But like you, my children will even tell me that I've sold in a retail space as well. I've sold health and beauty, blah blah blah. But my point is, I've been in the tech space for about 8 years, but even at that, you find yourself, you want to balance between more pay and maybe title, or maybe just climbing up the ladder. And someday you want to be country director because some of your mates that you started 8 years ago with are currently country director, yet you feel you don't want to remain in one place for long. How do you balance all of that?
Yeah. Very, very good question, lady. So I think the first place to start is having a career goal, right? You need to understand that every race in life, basically the race that everybody's running, is personal. It's very personal. So you need to start off with, what is my career goal? I am not surprised that I am here now. I expect to actually even be maybe higher, but I'm not surprised that I am where I am right now, because I have a plan, I have a goal, I've mapped out a journey for myself, irrespective of the noise out there, irrespective of peer pressure. I have something mapped out for myself. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do this year. This is what I want to do in the next 5 years. I'm very, very big on goals. When I'm talking to people, the first thing I say is, what is your plan? What is your goal? So we want to start from there. Then the second thing is you want to also carve a niche for yourself. So what do I want to be known for? For me, I want to be known as an influencer, as someone who helps people evolve, who helps people grow, who helps people find purpose, who helps people find meaning out of life, right? Career-wise. So how do you, like, what area do you want to cover for yourself? That would also help you in your journey, in knowing when you see people jumping up and down, you know, okay, I'm not jumping here because this is not what I want. This is my own focus. This is the area that I want to, you know, focus on. Then third thing is, when it comes to moving jobs, you also want to think about the company you're moving to. How does this move align with the goals I've set for myself? That's why I said the first thing is goals. What exactly do I want the next 1 year, the next 5 years? So I'm moving to visa, for example. Why am I making the move to visa? Is it because my friend is going there? How does this move align to the goal I have set and the niche that I want to carve out for myself? So if visa is not aligning to those two things I've mentioned, then out, right? There's also the aspect of personal development as well. You know, okay, I want to do this training, I want to know this, I want to get more knowledge on this, I want to do, you know, all of those nice things. That's personal development is important too. So when you do your research about the company culture, very important. It's not enough to say, oh, I heard that Paystack, they pay very well, and then you jump there. You also want to do your research about the company culture. Why is the company culture important? The company culture is important because the way the company is set up, or the way the company is set to move, will eventually affect your life. So if the culture there is, we don't promote people until after 10 years, or we don't promote people who are under 30, or we don't promote people who are 40 and above, you need to, then that's going to affect you at the end of the day, because when you make that move and you go into that company, you spend 5 years, you spend 8 years on one spot because their culture or their policy is they don't promote people until after 8 years. So all of these things might look like, oh, it's just something that we can, maybe this can change or we can waive, but it's very, very important and you need to hold on to it. So those are the things I would say the very key. Another thing, right, is moving in the right circles. Now, what will moving in the right circles do for you? Moving in the right circles would help you have information that you will naturally not have access to. Right? So you've pictured yourself that, oh, okay, what I want to do, I want to be a thought leader in card processing. So I'll start with Verve, I'll work with Verve for some time, then I'll move to Visa, then I'll move to MasterCard, then I'll move to InterSwitch. Now, all of those move or information and all of that, you making the right choice or making the right decision is or would be fast-tracked if you have the right network. So go for events, you know, go out, meet people that are, you know, thinking at the same level that you're also thinking, right? Move with people, follow thought leaders, go to networking events, connect with people on LinkedIn, even if you don't know them. Oh, I'm trying to get a job with Visa, right? And I go to LinkedIn, I type with Visa, I see people that work there, try and connect with one or two people, make friends with them. You can get information from them. When they have internal hirings and all of that is not publicized, I get all that information as well. So I know that, you know, some of these keys or these few tips I've shared will definitely help. Lady, was I able to answer your question?
Very much. Thank you, Toby. Thank you.
All right. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Toby. Um, Odafe, can you proceed, please?
Yeah, good evening. Thank you very much, Toby and Koye, for this session. It has been very insightful. So, unlike the other two people who asked some questions, unfortunately, I'm not in within the fintech space, but I think my questions can also still be answered. For me, I'm in the telecoms industry, and with my years of experience in telecoms, I've mostly been in channel management. So I'm managing of channel partners within the telecoms industry. In fact, I work with Globacom. But recently, I've having this passion now to navigate more into enterprise B2B sales. So that's where my passion has been right now for a while now, since this year. And all this while I've been upskilling. I've been getting a lot of certifications and doing a lot of courses to align me with enterprise sales. But now that's where the problem comes about. So far it's been good so far. I mean, the efforts I've been making has been pushing me forward. I've seen some opportunities and some offers. But where the issue comes about is I've had 7 years experience in telecoms in channel management. So I'm basically like in a mid managerial level. And but now that I'm trying to navigate more into enterprise sales, as B2B sales particularly, within even my company itself, there's the enterprise department. So but now moving into B2B sales is completely different from channel management here. Which here in channel management here, it's more focused on the end users or the retail basis. So when looking to enter into enterprise, most of the solutions issues I have is mostly into, okay, one, the experience. I don't have the experience of B2B sales. And now, do I have to, when now trying to navigate or get into a more B2B enterprise solution to sales, do I have to look into getting a position like not maybe like a lower position? Also, the salary range. How do I navigate all of this? Because I don't have the experience in B2B sales, even though I have a lot of transferable skills. And like I said, I've also done a lot of certifications and courses to align me with enterprise sales. But we know experience is key. And with my with my years of experience and what I can transfer, it's difficult to know what what level of positions I should pick. What should my salary expectation, considering the fact that I want to gain experience? So how do I navigate this? I don't know. I don't know if I should call it career change because it's still in sales. Yeah, within my industry, it's still you still have it as tech sales in terms of selling of telecoms or ICT solutions. So I don't know if I should call it a career change, but yes, I want to transition more into enterprise sales. So how do I navigate? What should be my salary? How should I value my salary expectations? And also, how should I value the position or the level I should aim for?
Okay, Dafe, are you looking to work in the same organization? So are you moving from channels management to enterprise sales in the same company?
Well, my that's not, yes, it's an option, but that's not really my most my focus is mainly on. It's because first of all, I've looked at it and my whole plan and my whole career plan. I first of all cover a territory, a town in Oyo State. So from my own career goal, for me to be able to network more and build more relationship in enterprise B2B sales, I feel I need to be in Lagos. So I'm looking at jobs, whether within my company or outside my company, that can land me in places like Lagos, or places where I can more focus on building relationships and build more relationship with companies.
Okay, so first thing I would say is you already have the experience because I heard you say, oh, how do I move from channel management to enterprise sales? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello? Okay. I'm saying that you don't have to throw away your experience. You already have 7 years experience working as a channel manager, and I know that involves working with different stakeholders, right? So you already have skills, the skill set that a salesperson should have. So you don't have to throw out all that experience and say, oh, I'm starting out fresh. I don't have any experience. I'm saying that because of your CV, right? So when you're presenting your CV, you're not going to say, oh, I don't have any experience at all in sales. I'm just starting out. You're not starting out, right? So you can still transfer the skills that you use on your current role to the enterprise sales management. Now the difference is, like you have said, your previous role is more of B2C, right? You're relating more to end users. But for enterprise sales, you have to work with businesses. You have to sell products to organizations. You're not selling product to an individual now. You're selling to organizations, right? You're selling to corporates. You're still in the same skill sets, right? The only difference now is when you're selling to corporates, you need to talk more of strategy. You need to be more strategically inclined, because they are going to want to see, oh, how are you going to help my business grow? What solutions will you need to deliver to me to make me make more money? All right. So when you're pitching, you have to pitch and talk about numbers. You have to pitch and talk about the solutions that you're providing that would help them gain more customers or help increase their customer base. I don't know what solution your enterprise product sells, but I'm just speaking generally right now. Okay. So you want to speak more to what will affect their bottom line. But when you're talking to an end user, you're not using the same terminology, you're not using the same language, right? For a customer product, you're talking about how to make their life easier. You're talking about how to make them, make payments seamlessly if you're in payment space. You're talking about how to make them use a product. So those are the differences. For enterprise, you want to talk about how you can, make them money. So when you're crafting your CV to get this kind of jobs, or to get roles in as an enterprise sales manager, talk more of your successes, your achievements, how you're able to, successes from your previous job, how you were able to change this, how you came up with one super idea that made them money, how you proactively solve the problem or challenge. Just craft it in that line. Craft in that line and still maintain that you have that sales experience. So you're not throwing away the wonderful 7 years that you have. You're only transferring the skills that you've developed into this new area. So that's it. That would help.
So you mean I can aim higher?
Yes, definitely. You already have
Okay.
the experience to back you up. Just craft your CV to speak and to showcase those skills that you have.
What I can transfer. Yes, the skills I can transfer. All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Toby. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Toby. So we'll be taking just two more questions because of time. We're trying to end the session by 8 p.m. So there's a question in the chat box. It says, "Hi Toby, how do you deal with very toxic workplaces and top lines who are toxic, and it looks like they want to frustrate you in this life?"
Sorry, please, can you take that again?
How do you
Sorry,
deal?
can you take that again?
How do you deal with very toxic workplaces and top lines who are toxic, and it looks like they want to frustrate you in this life?
Do you know what just came to my mind? Run. Run. No, I don't know if you know that there was this kid that was going around there. Run, no, like just run. Okay, to be like seriously now. To deal with toxic bosses or toxic workplaces, the first thing is you need to make your organization aware, right? Because I've worked in toxic workplaces as well. I've had toxic bosses, But one of the mistakes I would say I've made sometimes is, I just move on without really talking about the issue, and then someone else comes in and faces the same thing. So it's good to make, because some organizations are not even aware. That's the fun. That's the truth. They're not even aware. They're not aware. So you need to speak out. You need to talk about it. You need to encourage others to speak out. So if there are other people that are being bullied or by their line managers, you need to encourage them to also speak out. All right. That's the first thing. The second thing is you need to weigh your options. So do I want to stay here? Do I want to leave? Now, only you can answer that question yourself. Nobody can answer it for you. And why I say that is everybody has different level of, should I say, what we can take emotionally. For you, it might not really be a big deal. You can handle anything. But the funny thing is that will start to affect your work, because you will just realize that you're not performing well, you're not turning out your best, because your mental health is affected. So it's always good to, have that discussion first and then make a decision if you want to stay or you want to move. Now, I know some people will say, if I'm moving, does that not mean I'm weak, I'm running? No, I should not run. I should take the bull by the horn and stay. I would encourage you, like I have said, ask yourself that question. Is this something that I can take? If it's not something that you can take, if it's not something that will affect your performance, because at the end of the day, what you'll be judged by is your performance. If it's not going to affect your performance, then you can stay. If it will, start to plan your escape route. That's my own, that's my suggestion, and that's my advice.
Oh, thank you so much, Toby. There is, I think, Blessing Ifebi, he raised her hand. I don't think she's still on the call. Okay, yeah, Blessing is still on the call. I don't know if you still have your question, Blessing.
Yes, but I'm fine. Thank you. I mean, somebody has access and I've gotten clarity. Thanks.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. So, thank you once again, Toby. I mean, this session has been extremely insightful, extremely insightful. So,
Thank you.
Toby has dropped
Sorry,
her.
please, I would like to ask how do we connect with you guys on LinkedIn?
Yeah, she has dropped her LinkedIn address on a link to her LinkedIn page rather.
Okay. On the message box, yeah? Okay. All right, no problem.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry,
Koye.
my network went off. So can you see the link that Toby
Yes,
dropped?
yes, yes,
So
I've seen it. Thank you.
all right, so you can connect with Toby on
Okay,
in
thank
page.
you. Yeah.
And for I know there are a couple of us who are not members of the TSPC or the Tech Sales and Partnerships community who are here on the call. So I've also dropped a link to our Slack group. That's where we post a lot of information. We post on jobs. We have virtual hangouts. We have mentorship sessions and webinar sessions as well. So there's a lot of value to be gotten from joining the Tech Sales and Partnerships community. And we are also partnered with several organizations that recruit for roles in sales, partnerships, and account management. So please, it will be very beneficial to you to join the community. You can also follow us on our social media pages, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Twitter. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the call. Would you like to say
Thank you
anything?
for having me.
Thank you so much, Toby.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you mute yourself, Odafe? Let me see.
All right.
All right. So, Toby, I said Toby. Sorry, Titi and Dara, do you have anything to say? So, Titi and Dara are our co-founders, by the way, just in case.
Hi, Dara.
Hi,
Hi,
Toby.
Sophie. Thank you so much for an
Nice to see
amazing
you again.
session. Yeah, and thank you, Koye, for hosting an amazing session. Toby was my
Thank
colleague.
you.
Toby's really amazing. It's really nice to have you here. Share your
Oh,
insights. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Toby.
thank you for having me. So glad to be here. And you guys can always reach out to me anytime.
We're glad
We're
to.
happy to hear that. Yeah, thank you so much, Titi here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Koi, for working and helping us put this together. And thank you so much, everybody, for making our time to attend and make it worth, Toby's while and Koi as well.
All right. I think it's a wrap then. Have a wonderful rest of the week, guys. See you in the next webinar
Yeah,
session.
thank you. All right.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.